Hey friends, Melanie here. I want to talk to you today about cord cutting rituals. This is something that I get a lot of questions about, and I actually have a blog post that I wrote a few months ago about cord cutting and cord cutting rituals. And so I want to make just a quick video for you today about why this is important, as well as dispelling maybe some myths about cord cutting. So you may have heard about this technique or practice, and this is just in my opinion, one of the many important things that we do for managing our energy, right? Energy boundaries. If there's somebody in your life that you have a difficult relationship with, or a relationship ended, and you still feel like there's some kind of energetic connection there, it may be a great idea to do a cord cutting ritual. So this is just a very practical, hands-on way to work with this energetic connection. And there's a lot of different versions of cord cutting rituals. Like I said, I have a blog outlining the exact ritual that I used most recently for energy cord cutting. But everybody has their own different spin, right? So it's really a short and simple practice or technique to kind of call back your energy to you, as well as kind of, well, cord cutting, right? We're severing the tie between you and that person. And so when people think about cord cutting or read about cord cutting, maybe there's often a lot of questions or maybe some misinformation out there. And like I said, everybody's a little bit different with this, but I want to give my perspective on cord cutting rituals. And the first thing is that you can do cord cutting with anyone. So if you look at the blog that I recently wrote, I wrote it from the perspective of somebody who had a romantic relationship end, which I think is a super important time to do cord cutting. Anytime a dating relationship or a partnership comes to a close. But you can do this with anyone. So you can cord cut with people, even people who are still in your lives, family members, coworkers, parents, children, all this kind of things. It's really important to know that you can apply this ritual to any type of relationship. You can even do cord cutting with somebody who has passed or has crossed over. And you can actually do cord cutting, and we do actually form energy cords to physical places and locations as well, but I think I'll make a separate video about that. So that's the most important thing to know. You don't have to be, at the end of a romantic partnership. You can be at the end of any type of relationship or in the middle of any type of relationship. This is just a symbolic act of taking your power back, taking your energy back, separating your energy from that other person from a place of light and love, right? A place of compassion. That's really important to do that. So going along with that, I think it's really key to remember not to do your cord cutting when you are in a really emotionally volatile space. And I wrote about this a little bit in a series. It's on my blog and my Instagram about when relationships end. And I mentioned how important it is to give yourself some time to process, to grieve, to get grounded again before you do your cord cutting. So if you're feeling especially angry or betrayed or, really upset, really volatile energy, do not do your cord cutting. That is not the type of vibration you want to bring into that sacred space. You want to do your cord cutting when you are feeling calm, centered, supported, and resolved. So that's key as well. So like I said, you can do cord cutting with anyone. Make sure you're in the right emotional and energetic space when you do so. And the third thing I'll say is that cord cutting to me is not an act of violence towards that person. This is not, and every witch or magic worker will have their own perspective on this. But for me, I don't believe in, I don't typically practice things like hexes or anything negative. This is not about wishing anything negative on that person. This is more about you and empowering you, taking back your energy. So cord cutting ritual, at least the one that I have used and outlined, is not meant to be used for hexing or for, putting any negative energy on that other person. Again, tying back to why we need to come into doing this with not in a volatile headspace. And then I will say that cord cutting, you may need to do it more than once. I'm not gonna lie. These are, especially for these relationships that are really intertwined, right? Long lasting, deep, profound, intimate relationships. In my experience, it's pretty rare to be able to do a cord cutting ritual and then just like poof, it's gone, and you never have to deal with anything ever again with this person, and you feel amazing. Like, that does happen sometimes, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people get discouraged if they're like, I did the cord cutting ritual and I still feel, attached to this person, or I still have feelings for this person. Like, that's okay, that's normal. This is just an important step. So I do some cord cutting and things like that in Reiki sessions. And you can do cord cutting from that more of a kind of an etheric, spiritual visualization piece, which I think is really helpful. So often, if it's a difficult relationship, I will recommend both doing the hands-on ritual and getting some kind of Reiki or healing session where you do that kind of working in the spirit realm. But again, remind yourself, like, this is an important tool, and this is a symbolic ritual for me to take back my energy. It's not necessarily going to like solve everything, right? So this is really important to, if this person is still in your life. And I would say like 90% of the time, these people are still around, whether it's, even if it is an ex-lover, ex-partner, sometimes we still have interactions with them. Perhaps you had children together or worked together, or maybe this cord was related to a family member. Like, you can't always get rid of those people out of your life. So it's very normal to still feel some amount of connection to them. So you can do cord cutting more than once with the same person. It doesn't necessarily mean that you failed in some way, so let go of that idea. What else do I want to say about cord cutting? I think those are really the main questions that I tend to get about this type of ritual. So the one that I outlined on my blog, and I'll leave the link below for you guys. I use 2 candles. Those are kind of the symbolic pieces for you and that other person, and a piece of twine or string in between that you burn. You can also cut it with scissors or anything like that, but that's how I've used it. And I encourage you not to read too far into like what the candles are doing. Some people like to have, that extra layer of depth when it comes to interpreting the ritual. So that's something I can help you do if you really want to go more in depth with what actually happened during the ritual. We can set up a session and do that. But as long as the main pieces work, right? The cord is separated in some way, and you allow the candles to extinguish on their own. These are, to me, key pieces of the ritual. So you can read more about that below. But again, whether you are in a relationship that you feel like it's just too entwined and this person has too much control over your energy, or a romantic partnership has come to a close, or it's a difficult interaction with a parent or a friend or a coworker or even a child, it's okay. And I think it's a really positive thing to do a cord cutting ritual. This is a very beautiful, sweet, easy, powerful thing to do. So, and overall, this kind of goes under the umbrella of energy hygiene, right? Energy boundaries. And I talk about cord cutting and a few other of these techniques that you can use to bring your energy back, right? To have control over your own energy and not allow other people to mess with it too much. I go into great depth with all this stuff in my new Energy Mastery online course. So I invite you to check that out if that's something that resonates with you. I designed this course specifically for, especially for those of us who are empaths or highly sensitive people or intuitives, anyone that really is tired of feeling like their energy is always changing depending on everybody else around them, or they're struggling with difficult interactions. Again, I created this online course, Energy Mastery, just for that. And I go into things like cord cutting, other rituals and techniques that you can use to call back your energy, to empower yourself again, to feel grounded and centered and calm no matter what's going on in your life. So I'll leave a link to the Energy Mastery School below as well. All right, friends, I hope this was helpful, all about cord cutting and why it's important and how to use this incredible tool for your own healing and empowerment. So questions about cord cutting, check out the blog below, check out Energy Mastery School, and leave me a comment if you have questions. If you like this video, you guys, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see y'all next time. Take care. Bye.